Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kabelo Mokobe, but you can call me KB. If you are a returning subscriber, darling, welcome back. And if you are new and want to be part of the family, please do subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified every time we have a family meeting. So as you can see by the title of the video, this is a story time of how I got to go to boarding school and what was my first impression the moment I got there. So without any further ado, wait. So before I start off this video, I want to give a special shout out, darling, to my friend Guguletu, who gave me a special Valentine's gift. And one of the items in the gift bag, or whatever, is a sparkling non-alcohol beverage. Keyword, non-alcohol. So yeah, special shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for this gift. And this is actually a perfect way to start of this journey on YouTube, darling. So we are celebrating. If you are watching this, grab a glass, darling, so that we can cheers to this new journey of mine. All right? So aribuling. So I also don't have a glass, guys. I don't have a glass for sparkling or champagne, whatever. So because I get at the bujalo, so I just grabbed any glass. So let's go. Ooh! Oh my gosh! The ghetto, ratatata. Oh my god, I spilled it on the carpet. Guys, I spilled it on the carpet. Can't do why, Marakabelo. I didn't expect it to do this. I don't know what was I expecting, but didn't expect this. At least if there's one thing I've got right is the way I held the bottle. Alright? So yeah, let me close this and then let's get to it. So the year is the year is 2010. Yeah, just to give you a backstory so that you understand how I got to go to boarding school. So remember on my first video, I told you all that my parents passed away when I was very young. My mom when I was 8, my father when I was 14. So my father passed away in 2009, right? So 2010, my brother, my eldest brother, Obutuaka, firstborn, took me, and then I came to stay with him and his wife in Pretoria for the year 2010. And that year I was going to grade 7. Yes, I was going to do grade 7. So yeah, I stayed with them, and just a disclaimer, so that things make sense. This older brother, or eldest brother of mine rather, I didn't grow up with him, if that makes sense, because there's a huge gap between, there's a huge age gap between my brothers and I. So yeah, by the time I was, jovicho, ke bona dilo, ke bona botshelo gore what ke what. Before I was that, he was already well established in his career, and he had already moved to Pretoria, and yeah, starting a new life with his new family, So yeah, I came here, I stayed with them. So it was my grade 7. So before my father passed away, he spoiled with so much money. I think he wanted to fill in that space of my mother not being there with money, if that makes sense. Basically, he showed me love. His love language, or the only way he thought he could show me love, was through money. You get it? So he gave me a lot of money. yo guys, Nikki, na Nikki na le chelete, ke le munyane, yo, Nikki na le chelete. By that time, guys, how old was I? I don't remember. So my mother passed away 2005 and I was 8. Around 10, between 10 years and 14, between 10 and 14 years, my father used to give me an allowance of 500, a monthly allowance of 500. 500. And by that time, things were not as expensive as they are now. So, initially, yo, I was balling, darling. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Google it too. Oh, darling, you have outdone yourself. Cheers to you, my love. And cheers to us, whoever, the part of the family. Cheers to us, to this new year. Success, darling. Money, chelete, boroto, income, financial freedom. Dijiwegoni. Free time, guys. We don't want to work for money, but money should work for us. All right? Cheers to that. So, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I was rich. I was a rich kid. So, eventually I got spoiled, if for a lack of a better word. Like, for a lack of a better word. Ooh, sekgowa. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so, yeah, I got spoiled and I was a spoiled brat. I became a spoiled brat. So once my father passed away, I was still a spoiled brat and I had a spoiled brat mentality. So once I moved in with my brother and his wife, I was still a spoiled brat. Like, I had a spoiled brat mentality. Do you get it? So mind you, I don't know him that well. First of all, I'm a spoiled brat, and there's his wife as well that I don't know. So the situation was a bit awkward, well, for me, you know. And I think things started becoming too much for both sides, from me and from them, you know. Like, no go sa la tlhaloganya tla ke dire sentle gore le ntlhaloganye go ne go sa la tlhaloganya go ne go sa So I think then they took an executive decision to take me to boarding school. Mind you, I was not. Mind you, guys, I was not informed of this decision. Or was I? Maybe I don't remember. Maybe I was consulted. But if I was, guys, but if I wasn't, then that was the case, you know. So yeah, after grade 7, they told me that I am going to boarding school. They didn't tell me gore ke ya go boarding school efeng and go kae. So I'm like, because also I wanted space and there was just a lot going on. There was a lot going on, guys, because I felt like at that time, even now, I didn't get the proper chance to mourn my mother, because also I didn't know her that well. I was very young. And my father as well, after he passed away, then I immediately moved to Pretoria, you know, started a new life and whatever. So I never got to mourn them properly. So the whole entire experience was too much for me. It was too much. So the boarding school idea was not too bad. It was not bad at all. But okay, here the time comes. Now it's the year 2011. I'm going to grade 8. We are going to boarding school. I don't know which boarding school it is. I don't know where it is. You know, that whole type of vibe. Why did I just spill on myself? Why? Let me just take my time, you know? Let me just take my time. And I don't know why this was here all the time. Oh, influencer is No, I'm not an influencer. Anyway, so yeah, the time came. Now we are going to my boarding school. Mind you, we bought like a lot of groceries. When I mean like a lot of groceries for me, like, but things that cannot expire. Ke tla re mare, guys, re rekile dilo tse dintsi, like body tin stuff, tse dintsi, the noodles, like your cosmetics in bulks, in bulks, like boma 32 soaps, yalo la ntlhaloganye, man, you get the vibe. The washing powder, blah 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 blah. We bought all of those things that I'm going to need for boarding school. So how my brothers got to know about this boarding school is through my uncle. My uncle has 4 kids, has 4 children, which are my 4 cousins. They are all older than me. So 3 of them went to that boarding school. So he suggested that boarding school to them for me, sharp. So then wake up, we pack, we drive. Very in the morning. I remember at the AM, guys. I think it was still dark. I don't know what time it was, but it was very dark. 2 or 3. That's when we got out of Pretoria, going to the boarding school. So man, na ke nagana gore ke tla mo local is lekere, ha ba batle go ntatlhela kgakala wa bona, ke tla mo just here around, wa bona, around the nearest, man, not the nearest, the furthest, it tlo ba boma northwest, something wa ntlhaloganya, or Johannesburg, Little did I know we are going to an entire further province, Free State. Yo! Kirunabao, Free State. So my father is from Free State in Tabanchu. Is it? Yes, I think it's in Tabanchu. So I'm a bit familiar with, Free State because we used to visit his home, So we are driving, but at that time, I didn't know we were going to Free State because we just drove for the longest of time. We drove. Yo, guys. Where are we going? We are driving. So when we reach Bloemfontein, I'm like, okay, not bad, even though I'm very far from home. I Shem, at least take more Bloemfontein, where at least man, sharp. Then I get a bit of, excitement. Get excited. Woo, get like sharp. Did we not drive further outside of Bloemfontein? At that moment, hey guys, now guy, where are we going? But like, is this my life now? Am I being abandoned? What did I do to deserve this? This is what was happening in my mind at that time. We're driving further outside of Bloemfontein. And then there's a small town after Bloemfontein. Then I thought, it's the ghetto, honestly. No offense, but it's the ghetto, that next town. Mind you, I'm not going to disclose the name of the boarding school because, no. Because there are a lot of story times that are going to come up from that boarding school. So I keep at least the dots. No. Especially the ones that I went to the same boarding school with. So no. Yeah, so sharp, we are driving further outside of that small town as well. Because when we arrived at that small town, I was like, oh, but guys, I'm coming to this ghetto-ass place that has nothing. Excuse me, that has nothing. This can't be my life. No, Kiachana, absolutely not. And then I made peace with it. I was like, it's again, it is what it is. The moment we went even outside of that small town, I was like, yo, Jason Tuesday. Oh, I wish I knew how to pray in tongues at that time because ne ke tlo gore wa ntlhaloganya. Guys, at that time I was becoming more emotional. I was becoming more emotional. I was thinking about my parents, my father and my mother. Guys, why didn't you know, like why didn't because at that moment I felt like like I'm being abandoned, you know. So we drive further. Guys, nakere Yeluna, where are we going? Where are we going? Because the only place from that small town could only be Lesotho, you know? So, Lesotho, a whole entire country within a country, Lesotho. But it didn't make sense at that moment because I didn't have a passport. And I didn't remember them making me a passport. So, so, guys. Hello, now, am I being sacrificed? Am I gonna be sacrificed? South Africa, are you there? Yeah? They can't scream. But I was calm because, hey, I was very afraid of them. I was so afraid of them. So I just kept my cool, and then we drove. And then, you guys, bush, yes. Now we there's a pathway in this very open space, like the farm vibes, you know, the plot. It had those vibes. So there's a pathway there, like gravel road. There's a gravel road that I thought at that time was leading to nowhere because but also because bear in mind that we had to drive slow because it's a gravel road. We're driving like very slow and I see nothing. When I mean nothing, I mean nothing. After like Boma plus or minus 35 minutes drive from the road, now further there, there's something. There is something. Kari, is that where I'm going? Guys, is that where I am going? Oh no, guys, Galatliwa. No, this was official. I felt like Galatliwa now. So I accept the fact that Kabila, you know what? It is what it is. Walatliwa, you're going to a boarding school. There's no turning back now. Sharp. So we arrive there. When we arrive, so because I'm a grade 8, which means our high school started at grade 8 and ended at grade 12. So grade 8 learners, which are newcomers. So ka boarding school language, manuere. Mean lenyere is someone new at that boarding school. So manuere had to come 2 days before dikole di bula. Yeah, we had to come 2 days before schools open. And then your regulars, you know, grade 9 until grade 12 learners, they came a day before, which was the following day after we arrived. So yeah, we arrived there, and when we arrived, I was so scared for my life. Why was I scared? Because I saw all kinds of people. When I say all kinds of people, kibuaka, and this is just a stereotype, ne? Yeah, and that was wrong for me. But motho wa mona man ne ke bona o gore o o ke tsotsi o yo dilo tsa rona di tlo nyamela, dilo tsa ka di tlo go tsamaya. O ke tsotsi o ke bona tsotsi, ke bona o serious, ke bona too good to be true, ke bona serial what? I ke batla go suiwa wa bona. Yeah, ke bona those vibes. Ke bona ba bang ba very chilled, ba very quiet, you know. There was a lot going in my mind, guys. There was a lot. I saw different kinds of people. It was a boarding school, so I was not exposed to such different characters all in the same space. Do you get me? Sharp. The worst part is that, guys, the worst part was the fact that when we arrived and the boarding parents introduce themselves and ushered us to our rooms. When I got to the room that I was allocated to, there were 10 beds, meaning 10 people are sleeping in one room. And I'm one of them. Yo! Guys, then by that time, I was the shyest person on earth. I was shy. I was in the closet. I felt abandoned. Everything was... My parents has just passed away. Like, my life is coming to an end. Like, that was me at that moment. Imagine sleeping with 9 people in a room. 9. So let me give you a structure, an idea of our boarding school. So it's a double story, ne? Downstairs, it's classrooms. Upstairs, it's our bedrooms. Bedrooms. So on each side of the boarding school, there are rooms. There is room 1 to room 7 on each side. Room 1 and room 7, it's only 5 people in each room. So in room 1, there are 5 people. In room 7, there are 5 people. But room 2 until room 6, there are 10 people in each room. You all got that. There are 10 people in each room. Fine. So I get there. When we got there, the boarding parents introduced us to some of the kids that had arrived at that time. But obviously we just greet each other. We are shy and you just you're in your own box, in your own world, Fine. And now they have to leave. But then before my brother, mind you, the person or the people that took me to the boarding school was my uncle, the one that is familiar with the boarding school, and my second born brother. My older brother. I have 2 brothers. So the second born one. So before they left, then they realized that they didn't buy me a bedding. And in my head, I'm like, how could you guys possibly forget a bedding? The most important thing. Yeah? The most important thing. Because my uncle suggested that boarding school. So he knows exactly that we have to buy a bedding. And we brought some blankets, but I didn't have a bedding, which did not make sense at all. So my brother opted to go to the nearest town and get me a bedding. So he goes there quickly and gets me a bedding. When he came back, I needed a drink for that one. When he came back, guess the design and the color of the bedding. Just guess it. Comment down below. Before I continue, comment. Guess the color and the pattern of the bedding. Oh my gosh. The bedding was purple and lime. Purple and lime. Not only that, it has hearts all over it. Designed in hearts. There are hearts. More bedding. At that moment, I was like, expose me, guys. Expose the fact that I am gay. Expose me. Expose me. Mind you, by that time, I had not come out to my family, and probably they knew, but why would they buy me that? For what? What an embarrassment. But they will embarrass you. Family will embarrass you. Man will embarrass you. Guys. Yeah. regular bedding a purple and lime jwang. I get tlhaloganye. But that was that. Fine. So I had no choice. So that now, keep out there, it's time for them to leave. As I saw that car drive away and there was dust behind the car, then I started crying. Yo guys, kalla, kasimula kella. Kibota Jehovah, why? Why me? Why me? I do not understand why, but yeah, I started crying, asking myself, why me? Because things did not make sense at that moment. But it's fine. So now everybody is arriving. You see? Like everybody, every new guy is arriving who stays in my room as well is arriving, you know? People are coming in, introducing themselves with their families. They're coming in. So now, you know, boys are boys, and I was still in the closet, so I didn't prefer to speak to anyone. But these straight boys are busy chatting and becoming friends, you know, all of that stuff. Because we are going to be roommates for the rest of the year. I mean, hello, we're going to talk to each other at some point. So now I can sense the fact that these people, they're thinking of me otherwise. Because I could hear them, you know, they were asking themselves if I'm a girl or a guy, first of all. Number two, am I gay? Look at his bedding and whatnot. So I was embarrassed, guys, and I felt like I could leave at that moment. I felt like I could disappear, actually. But my cousin came to my rescue. Remember that my uncle, he had 4 kids and 3 of them went to that boarding school. So one of them, who's my cousin, was still at that boarding school. So he was in grade 11. By the time I arrived doing grade 8, he was doing grade 11. So when he arrived, I told him that I can't have this bedding because it's embarrassing, you know? It's an embarrassment. So he said, Ahmed, because he's used to the environment and has been there since grade 8, he knows the ins and outs and people are used to him, so he doesn't care a damn. So he said, don't worry about it. Let's swap beddings. Let's switch. I'll give you my bedding and I'll take yours. And I was like, oh, thank God. Yes. So he gave me his bedding. His bedding was, it had stripes, but it was blue. It was blue dominated and it had like stripes, like red, orange, yellow, green. It was a rainbow thingy. Although it also screamed LGBTQI plus community, but at that time people didn't know that, you know. Yeah, but it was blue dominated, so I was okay with it. Fine. So he gave me his blanket and sharp. So now we are there. People, I'm talking to some of them, and mind you, I'm now talking like a straight guy because I keep I'm gay, you know. I keep I'm gay and whatnot. No, so boma eitada sure I'm fana ka dintshang na ba mpitsa KB mfethu ya ke tlhaga wa bona ke tswa ko Pitori. Yeah, sure. I get lots of great dating fit when I those type of vibes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I used to do that. Like, yeah, I so badly wanted to blend in and for no one to see the real me. So fine, did that, you know, acted and whatnot. Now it's the first night I get. Now the trauma comes the next morning where we have to go do what? Bath. It's an open bathroom whereby everyone ubona everyone. Everybody ubona everybody. So ha ke tsena ko bathroom ke nagana ke bona batho ba mongwe le mongwe o naked. And mind you, I see now new people from other rooms that I didn't see because I was in my room the whole entire day. So ke bona ba bang ba bantle, ba bang go, ba bang hey, and then and then wa bona gore the boys the bashimane dodo. Bashimane. Yo, did I not bath with an entire towel? I did that. I bathed with like ke tlhapile ka towel eleng. Ke tlhapile ka towel eleng. Jwang lena I didn't know, but that's what happened. I bathed with my towel here. I was not gonna be naked in front of everybody. What? Excuse me? No, that was traumatizing. That was traumatizing. And then yeah, that happened, and then we went to school and whatever. So when we came back from the first day of school, we go back to. Did we go back to hostel first, or we took our bags to the dining hall? No. We went back to hostel to put our bags away in our lockers. So in each and every room, everyone has a locker. Yeah, whereby you literally lock your locker. Renali, lock and keys and whatever. So we went there, put our bags away in our rooms, in our lockers, and then go to the dining hall because it's boarding school. Of course, there's a dining hall whereby they cater barraking food for every meal of the day: breakfast, lunch, supper. Sharp. So we go to dining hall. That's when now we got to see everyone, because don't forget the fact that in our boys boarding school, I didn't say this, but I don't know why I said don't forget that. In our boarding school, it was only downstairs. You remember there are classes. There was only grade 8, 9, and 10. And then there's another hostel. It's a boys hostel and a girls hostel. So it's a boys and girls boarding school. But we didn't live in the same buildings. Yes, we didn't live in the same buildings. So there's a guys hostel and then there was a girls hostel. So in the girls hostel, it was grade 11s and grade 12s. Sharp. So now dining hall time, lunch time, we get to see everyone, because yeah, we got to see everyone because it's time to eat. You are abandoned, darling. Where you gonna cook? Where? We don't have stoves in boarding school. No, the hostel cooks for us. So yeah, it was lunchtime. Now we get to see everyone. And the more I see people, the more I'm like, wait, hold on. So the more I saw other students, other learners go boarding school, go dining hall. Even in dining hall, we are separated. Boys one side, girls one side. Because it's a Catholic school, it's a Catholic boarding school. So, ababatli mushigashiga. No. So we were still separated. And dining hall time, we are separated. Boys one side, girls one side. We can't even see each other. So yeah. So the more I see more people, I'm like, yo! No. Why kitlisitswe mo? What that moment I was like, why kitlisitswe mo? Why kitlisitswe mo? Because man, little Saturday one tika, honestly. So but then yeah, I got used to it slowly but surely. And yeah, at that time later during the year, I was like, well, I can do this because now I'm used to the place, and obviously they're gorgeous people here. And I was like, yeah, let's do this, honey. So yeah, as I feel like this one is important as well. The fact that if you are new to the boarding school, obviously there's an initiation process, you know. Every place has an initiation process. Well, let me say maybe every new every new learner in a boarding school, I think. I'm not sure, I think. So it was the worst initiation ever. You know what they do when they initiate you into boarding school? Hey, Sekgowa, I can't put this in English. But if you can, comment down below if you can put this in English. But ne ba re dikga ka dibete. Ne ba re dikga ka dibete. To explain in English, I was like, while you were sleeping on your bunker bed, they would literally lift the bunker bed and tilt it, and then you fall. So I don't know how you put that in English. Mar ne ba re wisa ka dibete. That was one of the initiation processes. One of them. The other thing is that ne ba go tshasa no hair. Imagine no hair. Some person ba mo tshasitse no hair ko di eyebrow. Ha tsoga lo tlhapa di eyebrow ha dio. Imagine not having eyebrows. Oh my gosh. And then another thing, they would slap you before ba go dikga ka bete. Ba tshase Vaseline or a polish, like polish on their hand and literally slap you, bro. Like, pa! And then ba go dikga ka bete. And by the time you open your eyes and get up from the floor, they are gone. Gone in 60 seconds. Gone in 60 seconds. Yeah, banyametsi, ditsotsi, gone. And that was not that bad. It was bad the first few times, but then you were just like, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as they said. So you were used to the pain, so to put it. But that was not the worst type of initiation. The worst type of initiation was the fact that should they find you sleeping facing up, like facing the ceiling, like looking up, but you're sleeping. They would find a plus size person and they would put a pillow on your face first. And then that plus size person sits on you. And while that person sits on you, the other person is holding your right arm, the other one is holding your left arm, the other one is holding your right leg, the other one is holding your left leg. Basically, you couldn't do anything. That's you dying. I'm surprised nobody died. Honestly, I'm surprised nobody died. Because you imagine you're sleeping and then all of a sudden you're suffocating. And when you open your eyes, there's a pillow, there's a person sitting on top of you. Njani, my love. Njani. Yo, but wako boarding school never tsenwa. Oh, they were crazy. Oh, they were crazy. Oh my gosh. So, excuse me, that was the worst for me. That was the worst. But yeah, first impression of boarding school was that I want to get the hell out of that place. I want to get the hell out of that place. I don't belong here. I don't want to belong here. It's the worst place ever because I felt like it was jail. It was some form of prison, you know. It was some form of a prison because you are far away from home. There is absolutely nothing around you apart from just a small village next to us where people were, you know, residing, and there were no shops around. It was literally school. You wake up, bath time, then study time. After study time, in the morning. So you wake up, you go bath very early. 6 or 5. You wake up very early, and then after waking up, after bathing, you put on your uniform, and then there's study time in the morning. After study time, I think at around 7, Then it was, well, guys, bear with me, I don't remember the times correctly. After study time, there is dining hall time, there's breakfast time, whereby you go eat breakfast. And then we would usually eat like either bread with like either butter or peanut butter or jam. And then they would offer us either coffee or tea or both sometimes. So yeah, but coffee already, there were like two kettles of, 2 or 3 kettles of coffee, and people used to fight over those kettles. Yo, ne re sotlega tleng. Ne re sotlega shem. Ne re sotlega. So yeah, there were either 2 or 3 pots of coffee, and then the rest is just tea, and tea was just boring. One thing about their coffee, it was nice. Their coffee was nice. The rest of the things was just nonsense. Even the food, we even named some of the food like accident, like chicken thing. There's some chicken we would say accident because it was that bad. And then a peanut butter, we used to call it mopenzo, you know. And yeah, we used to eat crazy stuff like macaroni and cheese and beetroot. At the time I was like, what? And then eventually it would become your favorite because I mean there's nothing else you're used to. And then guys, we used to eat like, yeah, no, crazy stuff there. So yeah, after that, after breakfast time, you go take your bags, you're going to school. After school, dining hall. After dining hall, it's just a free time whereby, although it was a Catholic school, you were allowed, to hang around with each other. Yeah, but we were not allowed to eat with each other like in the same room, go dining hall, and we were not allowed to like sleep in the same building. Yeah, those were the only things. But we shared classes. And we shared, yeah, everything. Everything else apart from those things. So after lunch, yeah, you can meet with your friends. Go scroll. Did I say scroll? Kabelo. Sekgowa. Not scroll, guys. Stroll. Stroll, yeah. Stroll. Nelly stroller, man. Nelly stroller around the premises of the boarding school because it was a huge yard. Yeah, it was a huge yard. Let's amaya, and chill wherever you want to chill. And I don't remember the exact dates of church time, but I know probably it was a Wednesday. We had church on Wednesday and Saturday. Yes, Saturday I know for sure we had church, but during the week I don't know which day it was, but I'm assuming Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. So Wednesday and Saturdays it was church time. And then if there's no church time, you chill wherever, doing whatever. And then after that there's supper, there's dinner. And then you go, and after dinner there's like an hour, because we used to have our dinner so early, like Boma 6. Yeah, 6 o'clock I think it was dinner time. And then Boma, after dinner you had like an hour to stroll around and say your goodbyes to your friends, your girlfriends, boyfriends, and whoever, all of those people. And then after that, get entrance closed. Entrance closed meaning the entrance entrances to boarding buildings are being closed. So you better be there by the time they are closing or before they close the entrance. Because should you arrive at the time at which the entrance is closed already, honey, you would get punishment. And punishment, you would clean toilets and whatnot, or dining hall, or classes, something. But it wasn't cute. So there was entrance closed. After entrance closed, there's a few minutes, and then there's study time at night, like in the evening. And our study time, I don't remember. Was it 1 hour or 2 hours? I'm assuming 2 hours because it was a bit long. So after that, there was like an hour after study time. There was an hour of, just preparing to go to sleep. After that, lights out, lights off. Lights off meaning it's time to go to bed, it's time to sleep. Get lights off, whereby batima mabone everywhere, you know, batima main switch, main switch yawa, kala, ratima runa. Nebatima name switch, I mean, or yeah, they turn off the main switch or they turned off the lights in our rooms. I think they turned off the lights in our rooms. But the moment they realized that some of us would turn on the lights even though it's lights off, then they turned off the main switch. Totally. So yeah, we had like four boarding parents. Hey, we had four boarding parents, 2 per shift. Yeah, 2 per shift. So they were exchanging, you know. Yeah, they had shifts. There was 2 clocking in this week, or for whichever long time, and then there's the other 2. But after bad. So yeah, so that is basically the idea of how my boarding school was or still is, because it still exists. But furthermore to now getting into boarding school, and wabona gore gobe re twailane go nne monate go diriwe di-what le di-what le di that is more to come. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to, yes, thumbs up meaning like, share, comment. Like buang, I like to interact with you guys, so ari bueng waban, yeah, if you know, let's just interact. Like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified every time there's a family meeting, darling, like this one, you know. So yeah, do that, and please, yeah, share with friends, exes, plus ones, loved ones, everyone, guys, please. And yeah, let's support each other. And until then, see you next time.